An example where we use AWS Bedrock with Anthropic Cloud to stream results. So in this case, we're using a streaming functionality where we're going to get the results back from the model token by token. We're going to group those tokens into groups of 20 and then write those to an output topic. We're going to continue to write that to the output topic until we get the close or the message complete type of response from Anthropic, and then we'll go ahead and close out the Pulsar function. So in this case, it's going to start with, tell me a story about two cats as the input topic. And then as the final output, we're going to get line by line responses sent over to an output topic. So I'm not going to go through all of the step-by-step directions. You'll need to follow through those. We're just going to go ahead and deploy it and then show the results after we use the REST API to write the input to the input topic, and we'll take a look at what the output looks like. So here I'm going to go ahead and copy this Pulsar Cuddle function's create command, and I'll go ahead and paste that into terminal, and we'll deploy the Pulsar function, and it'll say created story 1 successfully. After waiting just a minute or two, we can see in the StreamNative UI that story 1 is now running with no errors. Once it's running, I'll use the REST API to send a message, tell me a story about two cats to the input topic that triggers the Pulsar function. That topic was story input 1 if you go ahead and look in the Pulsar Cuddle function's create command. So we'll go ahead and send that across. You can see here that it received one message into the Pulsar function. It's going to make a call using AWS Bedrock over to Anthropic to get a token by token response for the creation of that story. And we're going to group those into 20 tokens at a time. For every 20 tokens we receive, we're going to write to the output topic. I believe you should receive 15 messages for the story. It says here's a story about two cats, Whiskers and Mittens, who live next door to each other. So the first 20 tokens made it into this first message. The next message is the next 20 tokens, and it continues to complete the whole story, and there's 15 messages worth. So if you needed to do some downstream processing that was time sensitive, but you wanted to start the model, get results, and start sending those downstream for processing, you would be able to do that. And if you read through the example for this, you'll see how we can do that without using the return statement right away, because the return would close out the function. I've also included a unique ID for each message that triggers the input of this, so that this story can be reconstructed at a later time. So here's a unique ID that the code will produce for you, and it's used for every single message. So if I trigger it again, tell me a story about two dogs, that would trigger the Pulsar function again, but it would have a unique ID, allowing you to reconstruct that story downstream at a later time.